The reason why I invited Jimmy was because Jimmy's well versed into the DC universe. I know you are as well, Eddie. But I think you two might complement each other and like the things that each other likes. I know Jimmy's very into like the obscure and kind of weird of the DC, while I know Eddie really has a good grasp on like the flagship stuff. And I think you two might meet in the middle here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Good.
What's the rating for this podcast? Is this like PG-13 or do we go R-rated?
You can go R-rated the same way that this movie went like
This
triple
movie went
R-rated.
I was gonna say, like,
R-rated.
no, man. I think we're about triple X at this point, bro. I think we're triple X rated.
We're like this close to
Absolutely.
showing. We're like this close to showing body parts. Just like.
No, we're not. I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube, motherfucker.
Who did I send those pictures to?
What? Oh,
I'm gonna kill Fernie for this. By the way, Fernie returned to doing his Wednesday rewind. So he did a review of Rocky. Number one, I'm shocked he didn't ask you to be a part, knowing how much you love that movie. And two, I'm gonna call him out because Rocky 1 is not the best sports movie of all time. That title, of course, goes to Rocky 2. So we're just gonna have a difference there.
I thought it went to the replacements, or remember the Titans, or fucking any Friday Night Lights. Boom, there you go.
Is wrestling a sport? Because then it's Nacho Libre.
I thought you were gonna say the wrestler.
No.
Actually, it's 100% in the conversation. Yes.
As we all know,
Absolutely.
they're all comedies.
Well, yeah. I
yeah.
laughed a lot during Rocky 2 and 3.
Remember
and
the
4.
Titans was like the funniest movie of all time.
Jesus
just
Christ.
the way they did that to The Rock.
No. You know what's the funny scene in that movie?
Right.
Na 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 na. Hey. Goodbye. Speaking of that, the Suicide Squad, gentlemen. Thank you for welcoming us onto your headphones. I'm Eddie.
I'm Chema.
And I am the cutest podcaster this side of the equator, Jimmy Alvarez.
Reviewing the Suicide Squad, and this
is the
rollback.
Man.
Welcome, Jimmy, my buddy, my pal. We're gonna talk James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. I have a little synopsis here, and then we can get into it. The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Supervillains Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and a collection of naughty cons at Bel Ray Prison join the super secret, super shady Task Force X as they are dropped off at the remote enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese to perform a secret mission. So this is the not sequel, not reboot, not nothing, just another Suicide Squad movie directed by the always fun and controversial James Gunn. And it is the DC Extended Universe 10th movie. But we don't care about the previous ones because this one can really exist all by itself. And if I can just start before you can get the ball rolling, I think this movie was a fucking blast. I just saw it today. I saw it early in the morning. By the time we got to the opening credits, I was already like, this is the best DC movie DC has ever done.
That was a long intro sequence.
Yeah, but in a really fun way. Like it felt throwback. It reminded me of James Gunn's like his first movie, Slither. It reminded me a lot of that. It was violent. It had a lot of action, and I had a ball with this movie. What do y'all think?
Yeah, there was a lot of just completely unleashed James Gunn in this one. Because, he did very well with both Guardians of the Galaxy's movies working for Marvel, but they were still holding him down with that Disney, force of gravity. And here
PG-13 rating.
Yeah, he went all out with this one, like he did in his previous R-rated films, right? and with an astronomical budget. Really, like he just
James. I just want to point out something real quick. They had a sex scene in a DC movie.
Oh right, yeah.
They had a sex scene. I'm just like, wow, okay, they're really going all out with this. Fuck it, go. And I love. So can I like peel back the curtain a little bit?
Yeah. I know this is. I know right now you must be like a kid on Christmas time. Like this is.
I am. So Jimmy, I don't know how well versed you are, but Chema knows I have rose tinted glasses on whenever it's a DCEU movie, just because I grew up with these characters. I read the comics. I love the cartoons. So anything the DCEU puts out, I like. And I'm well aware, I know I have favoritism. But fuck, it was this movie awesome. It was fun. It was great. Nikki loved it. And that's saying something. Yeah. She hates DC. Wow. She loved this movie. It was hilarious. She loved it. She loved Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Harley was such a standout in this. She was so fun.
But when is she not, though?
The first Suicide Squad.
Right. I mean, even then, even in that movie, she was still like one of the few little glimmers of hope for that universe. And I mean, she is starting a streak with this movie of having just the absolute best action scenes in DC films. Yeah, with their previous one, in my opinion, was the police station assault in Birds of Prey. Yeah, and then in this one, she gets another just completely batshit action scene. And she goes even further in this one with all the violence. Really, it was really intense and really well executed.
Wait,
I like it.
Go. You go.
I was gonna say, like, okay, to me, still, like, I don't care if this is a hot take, but to me, Birds of Prey is like the best choreographed superhero movie like ever. Like, to me, like every action scene is like perfectly ordered and perfectly moved, and even the way they integrated music into it was great. And what I really like is that yes, her scenes are actiony and violent and really fun to watch, but they're also very funny. Like they managed to splice in comedy very well. There's a great scene in Birds of Prey where she gets hit by a poison dart and she can't move, but she gets like a little knife and just starts hitting this dead guy like with the knife, just even though he's dead already, she's still like just hitting him with him. And then in this one, she gets this really funny scene at the start where Javelin Man, I forget his name, but he's played by Flula Borg, and he dies and he gives her the javelin and he just goes like, "You must carry this for," and then he dies. And then it seems like it's gonna be a really genuine, sweet moment, and then she just starts slapping his dead body, just like, do it for what? Like,
tell me, damn it.
And that's something that really shines when it comes to Harley in these movies in general. But this movie in particular, it really hit that balance really well of action and comedy the entire time.
Yeah.
What's called? Wait. So okay, I want to say something real quick. We can start from the beginning, because from the fucking beginning all the way through, like, this movie bangs, and in the most insane fucking way. They mentioned, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was an interview way back where they asked James Gunn about the movie, and he said the opening scene, Vietnam, Nam. That's the opening scene, is Vietnam. And I went into this movie like, okay, people are gonna die, but fuck, people die. A lot of them. So they assembled the team, right? And you got like Pete Davidson, who's like in only like very little bit of the trailer. So I'm like, okay, he's probably fucked. Weasel, probably. TDK, definitely. Like all these characters that you only see for like very little snippets, you're like, okay, they're fucked, but how? Yeah. And all these deaths are entertaining as hell.
Even then, I think there was still like a little bit of a fake out, because a lot of these actors got like really high billing in the promotionals. Like we got a lot of images for like Mongol and stuff like that, and then just like, oof.
Yeah, they're just gone. Yeah. Can I just like say really quick, the design for Weasel, like just his design. Can I have a plushie of that? Like it was really? Like when I saw it, I felt like the daughter in Ant-Man when she gets a toy and is like, he's so ugly, I love him. Like I love and just like his eyes are like the way that he was trying to talk. Oh my god, I was laughing the entire time.
I felt like I was gonna get a disease just looking at him.
And then when he jumps and he starts to drown because he can't swim, and it's like, did anyone check if he could swim? And
What's called? No,
God, I love him so much.
Nikki fucking hated him. Nikki fucking hated him. She was like, he will haunt my nightmares forever, and I was like, yes, he will. Yes, he
we were lucky that he was only in there for a little bit, honestly.
Well, it was funny because even she was really, because she didn't watch any of the previews, right? So we're watching the movie, and they're like, "Oh, it's a weasel," and she's like, "Oh, okay, like that's not so bad." And then right when she says that, Big Flag says, "I mean, he's killed 27 kids, but still," and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I mean, they're all supposed to be bad guys. Like, I don't think we were supposed to like have a morality meter for these people. Like, I read a couple of reviews, and there were some people who were like, I liked it, but I didn't like what they did with Amanda Waller. Like, she was too mean. She's a fucking bitch. Like,
it's
on
Amanda
purpose.
Waller.
If anything, they could have gone like even further with it.
Yeah.
Like,
which by the way, shout out to Viola Davis, who plays Amanda Waller. She's a super duper like serious Oscar winner like actress. She's fantastic, but I love how they redirected all that to comedy. Like, every time somebody fucked up and she like gave him a death glare, I was laughing my ass off. It was so funny, just like the fucking like 100% done face that she was doing the entire time. It was so funny. Like, I would hate to be on the other side of I would hate to be that poor intern that like brings the wrong coffee and she just stares down. It was so funny.
I really feel like these office scenes that we got right with the support team, they were a really great compliment to the mission scenes, right, with the actual task force teams.
Definitely. Eddie, you have your hand raised. I'm sorry.
Hand.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's talk about King Shark. Oh my God.
Honestly, man, I thought he was going to be funnier. Fucking Rambo, it was King Shark.
Oh my God. Jim, I remember you making like a specific comment on King Shark, I think on his design, because I know that you've seen the design for the one they used on the CW.
Yeah.
How do you feel about King Shark? I know you're a fan.
Well, that was the thing, right? Because like I saw the first few trailers, and I wasn't sure quite what to think about it. But in the movie execution, the whole 2 hours that he's on screen, amazing, incredible. I wouldn't have it any other way.
He was great.
Have either of you guys seen the Harley Quinn show?
Yes.
I saw a couple episodes.
Basically, they kind of took like the big lovable lug from the Harley Quinn show and made that their official version of King Shark for the DCEU. Basically, like, yeah, he's a lovable lug, you know, not the smartest, not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's funny, good for comedy, kind of dry, you know, in a very Groot kind of way. I'm just saying,
he's very like Groot, like he.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll
fucking take it.
At least he can form sentences, kind of.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the beach scene when they first go up, and Pete Davidson's like, "Hey guys, they're right here. I betrayed them," and he gets shot in the face. I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense.
What was his alter ego? What was his name?
Black something.
What's his? Is he like a real character? Like, does he have powers, or is he just like?
I think he's just like a good gunfighter. I want to say. Like, I might be wrong.
You know, because we have like 5 or so characters whose power is gun.
Yeah. Like me shoot real well.
Yeah. How big do we go on spoilers with this one? Just
fucking all the way, man. Look, okay, you know what? Here. Spoiler alert, folks. In 3, 2, they all die. They nuke everything. Superman appears and goes, "Oh fuck."
Okay. All right. So that was the thing, right? One of my favorite jokes in the movie, and this one goes like a huge laugh for me right at the beginning, is when Amanda Waller is introducing a Peacemaker, she says the exact same thing she said about Idris Elba's character, right? Word for word. Amazing.
And then he takes offense. He's like, "That's the same. Are you shitting me? That's the same thing you said to me." And then John Cena, who is very slowly becoming like the perfect unaware straight man of cinema and of comedy. Like, I think this is what his character in the Bumblebee movie should have been. And he even referred to Peacemaker as a douchey Captain America, which, you know, makes sense. And I love that even they just start bickering and they just start having like dick measuring contests like the entire movie. And like he goes like, well, I'm really good at using guns. Well, I use smaller bullets. Like they can go through your gun. What?
No, so like I didn't like flip out anyone because I knew there were going to be two separate teams because I remember when the scene when they're walking from the flag. I'm like, yeah, two separate teams. Like, but how are they going to incorporate it? And it's a fucking false flag operation. Like, okay, we're going to have the A team over here, but the actual A team is over there.
Yeah. And then it kind of reminded me of, do you remember that scene in Deadpool 2 when like he forms the X-Force and then they all die immediately?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. Yeah. And then like there's Brad Pitt.
That was the thing. I like that. Good joke. But it also, I feel like it takes a little bit away of stakes from the rest of the movie because we know the rest of the team is going to make it through most of it if we already lost half of the people at the beginning. So one of the things I would have liked a little better was if someone other than Harley had survived that initial scene so we could like, have more deaths through the movie instead of like just the beginning and the end.
Yeah, because the only other deaths that we had was Polka Dot Man and Flag and then Pacemaker, but then after credit scene.
Yeah, that's all just at the climax of the movie, right? We get like a good chunk in between without anything going on.
Well, can I mention like one of the first scene that made me like broke me laughing?
Yeah.
As bad as this sounds, it was the part where TDK, the detachable kid, unattaches his arms and makes him do this, and the part where his arms are being shot and he's just like writhing on the floor.
Yeah, and the bullets just don't touch his body.
Yeah, exactly. His arms are being like scalped, but he's like fine and he's just screaming in pain. God, why? I broke. I'm not gonna lie, man. I may have made him ask myself in the movies at that moment because the fact I did my mariachi laugh.
The fact that it was Nathan Fillion just like makes it so much better. I don't know how to explain it, but
dude, he's my fan cast for an old school Blue Beetle. So like to watch him just get slaughtered like that, I'm like, oh.
You wanted him for like Booster Gold, right?
No, not Booster Gold. Blue Beetle. I wanted the guy from The Mentalist to play Booster Gold. I think they could play off each other really funny, but
okay.
What's it called? No. So that opening beat sequence is batshit nuts. People are dying all over the place, and I am fucking in for it.
Yeah. And then fucking Yondu, I forgot his real name. Michael something. Yeah, he's like no, just like turns around, and then that's a really good introduction to being like to Amanda Waller doesn't play around. Like she will kill you. Like just like she don't care.
Frankly, like, that broke me a little bit. When he starts running and screaming, and it legit looks like he's traumatized by the whole thing. I felt a little bad for him, honestly.
You didn't think it was funny that like a little bird that looked exactly like the one that he killed like was eating out of his corpse?
But that's the thing that this movie does a lot. It does a lot of horrible things that are also funny.
like he killed the bird with the ball, and it was like, you fucking asshole. And then when the bird starts pecking at his body, she's like, justice.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah, he fucking deserved it. Let's be real. Fuck that guy.
Okay. Let's talk about Ratcatcher 2, because she was described as James Gunn said that she's the heart of the movie, and she is really good. I don't remember the name of the actress, but she was excellent. She was really funny, and I think just like that one, the whole sequence where like they go to wake her up and they're like, oh, her powers is that she controls rats. And then she has the little rat with like the little vest, and the little rat is like waving. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, and they just kept that joke going the entire movie.
What's it called? Ratcatcher. So props to James Gunn. I didn't realize how flawed the first Suicide Squad was until I saw this one. I'm like, my God, imagine when you give a director the goddamn freedom. Because, man, he developed all of these characters so fucking well. Ratcatcher, what's it called? Not Deaths. That's fucking, God, they all have so much fucking, not Blackguard. No, Bloodsport, thank you. I'm sorry. The Pete Davidson's character was called Blackguard. Fucking generic dude with a gun, number 3. Peacemaker and all that. She's like, he did such a great job.
You will not offend Pete Davidson in this house. We stand Pete Davidson in this house.
But like his development of all these characters was fucking insane, and like you could tell he was trying to make you feel for them. But like, god damn, did he make you feel for them? Polka Dot Matt, I didn't think I was gonna like him. Turns out, fuck, like this poor guy.
Oh, that one hurt.
Yeah, and David Dastmalchian, who plays him, he's a great guy. He was in the Ant-Man movies and he was in the Dark Knight, and he's been in a lot of stuff recently. And man, he pulls off this really like traumatized, kind of tragic character that's, you know, he's trying to do his best with a very ridiculous ability. And the fact that they have that ongoing joke of like him being afraid of his mother is both very funny and very like sad. And as we all know, good comedy always comes from tragedy, and it really worked during this entire plot line. So
Chema, as our resident close thing we have to psychiatrist, would you say he has mommy issues or no?
Yes.
He has the mommy issue.
I am sure that the second that Waller came into his like little jail cell and just said like, "Hey," he would just be like, "Yes, I'm in." Like I'm like convinced, and he had some really good moments. I like pretty much any action film scene that he had. And then also we gotta talk about the MVP, and there's the character of Milton, who's the guy that drives the van. And there's this great exactly. So there's this great scene where they just kill him, and then he just goes like, "They fucking killed Milton," and then everyone's like, "Who?"
He was helping us. Where the fuck was he helping us? I thought he was still in the goddamn bus.
Yeah. Why was he here? How was he gonna help? And I was like, yeah, why was he there?
Why did he get off?
Who is Milton? Why is Milton?
I'll do you one better. Why is Milton?
So can we talk about Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport?
Yeah.
So he was like, it was weird. Him and John Cena like perfectly played off each other, like going back and forth in their bullshit.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit on Blood. What was it? Bloodsport? Bloodshot?
Bloodsport,
yeah. Bloodsport, at the very beginning when we're introduced to him, we get sold in this idea that, oh, this is Deadshot too, right? Because like we get this marksman with the daughter. It's being used like as like leverage to get him to do the right thing, and then it turns out he fucking hates his daughter. That's what did it for me, because I was just like, oh man, they really couldn't come up with a better one for this one. They just went with Deadshot 2 and then turned it entirely on its head.
I like that. I really like Idris Elba, but I like Idris Elba the most when he's just allowed to just let loose and be kind of like a funny jerk, like exactly how he was in Hobbs and Shaw. And I kind of wanted him to be like that in this movie. Like, remember in Hobbs and Shaw when he's like, "Look at me, I'm Black Superman," like that. Like he was just hamming it up and having the time of his life. And I feel like in this one, no, he has to play like the straight man. He has to play, you know, a more. He's out of everyone. Even Rick Flag, who was this character technically in the original one, I feel like he's the one that's most like calm or normal, which is a weird thing to say in this movie. But and it's not a negative thing. Like somebody has to be the straight man. But I would have liked that asshole-ish, very British Elba just like coming out and like yelling.
I'm glad it wasn't Rick Flag. They improved his character so much in this movie. He has
so
fucking
much.
Comedy chops.
So much. Like he was this close to being a himbo. Like he was like he's so much better in this one than he was in the original one. And good. Honestly, great. Like I love the stupid shirt that he's wearing the entire movie, like the yellow shirt.
Oh yeah. What does it say? Mistakes are opportunities.
Yeah. That.
God.
Oh, he was great.
Man, like but like it was such, again, like what happens when you give a director creative control and you just don't fuck with them. The way he developed these characters, not just the ones that were already established, but made them better. In the first one, Rick Flag, he's just the guy to keep him in line. In this one, oh shit, you see him develop a friendship. He has a friendship with Harley Quinn. Like they see each other, and even we didn't even mention Captain Boomerang. I was shocked he died. I was actually surprised at that one.
Yeah,
me too.
I was like, really, Boomerang? They went for Boomerang.
They brought him back just to kill him. Like he was probably look. I don't like that actor. I think that actor always chooses like the most boring. Yeah, Jack Courtney always chooses like the most boring ass, basic ass soldier, like straight face roles. And in the first one, he got to have so much fun. Like that scene when he's holding the teddy bear and he's drinking the energy drink, and he's got like the boomerang. Fuck, comedy gold. He was like the best part out of the first one, and then they just bring him back to kill him. That bothered me. Like
maybe Gunn was like, "You're the last mistake from the previous one. I gotta correct you."
I mean, could be worse. We could have Cara Delevingne back, so you know.
Don't you love her?
I do, but she was not good in that movie.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so fucking we're talking about Red Flag. Who were we talking about before that? What were we talking about before that?
Ratcatcher. We talked about. Who are we missing? We talked about Polka Dot Man. Who are we missing?
The dick measuring contest. One of my favorite scenes in the movie when they were taking turns killing each other, killing the
oh my God,
mercenaries, and it's like okay, who can kill better? Especially the part where John Cena has the axe, he just starts chopping at the guys he's walking, maintaining eye contact, like, I'm better at this than you are. Oh yeah, let's do this.
One of the most perfectly executed punchlines, I think, in the entire movie is like, we believe the entire time that it's like it's the enemy, but then it turns out that it's the freedom fighters.
The first guy they kill, he's wearing civilian clothes. The whole time, it's incredibly obvious that this is a civil militia just in the forest.
And then just like they open the tent and there's Rick Flag just like drinking some tea, and then they're just like, "What happened?" Is like, this is the resistance. Like,
they saved me.
Like, where's everyone? And they're like, "Oh, they like run away."
They're gone. And I love Peacemaker's like covered in blood, and
we just got a notice that Zoom has removed the 40-minute time limit. So
thank you, Zoom.
Yay, Zoom. Thank you, Zoom. Thank you to the very attractive lady with the voice that says at the start that
this meeting is being recorded.
This meeting is being recorded.
So wait. So they're fucking Peacemaker's just covered in blood. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. Fucking okay.
Oh God.
And somewhere on the island, the New Mutants are there.
Kind of. So Peacemaker is gonna get like an HBO Max series. Like he's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be set before or after. I'm guessing it's after, based on what happened.
It's after because the interns, the workers from the office are in the cast.
Oh, great! I like them. I like them. Bring them back. But I'll be honest. I thought Cena was very funny in the movie, but by the end, it's like, okay, he's clearly the bad guy. So I don't know what a TV show based on Pacemaker is gonna be about. If I don't feel like I can be on his side anymore, I don't know if they're gonna do like a Breaking Bad kind of thing. But I don't know. Where do we all stand with Peacemaker?
Well, I think that's likely going to be it. And the thing is, like, yeah, he was funny the whole movie, but he was also the asshole. It's not that he had a heel turn. He really was like that the whole time. He said so himself, I'm going to kill as many men, women, and children as it takes to get peace.
Ooh, a wrestling term. Eddie has a Hardy right now.
I was going to say, actually, no, man, he turned heel in Furious 9, man. Let's be real. You don't turn on family. Oh, he fucking turned. And then he fucking turned face again. God damn it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think there can be some good material in there. I mean, I think there's a potential for a sort of redemption arc in the way that there was a redemption arc in this one that wasn't really one, because in the end they didn't do the right thing entirely. And I think that's the tone they're going for. I don't think they're really going to try to make this guy a hero at all.
I think maybe. Look, here's the thing. I'm not trying to say he is. Loki was a villain. He was entertaining as fuck, and he wasn't as dark as Peacemaker, but they somehow made like a 6-part TV show where you were really invested in his character. James Gunn wrote the show and directed, I think, a number of the episodes, if not all the episodes.
He did the entire script at least.
Yeah, so I trust that in Gunn's hands, he can make us give a shit about Peacemaker. At the very least, it'll be entertaining. At best, maybe we'll learn to like him. Maybe he'll become more like human about it and be like, sometimes, compromise is needed. Or I don't know. Fucking we'll see. It's James Gunn. Like, I can be entirely wrong, but
yeah,
he's good at his job. Like, what can I do?
I think Pacemaker stands like somewhere in the middle between Loki and like the new Captain America, John Walker. So, I think he's somewhere there. So that's Peacemaker. We talked about most of the main cast. Are we missing anyone?
Have we really talked about Harley Quinn very much?
Let's talk about Harley Quinn and how fucking she's
so
good in this.
I love
she's
the part.
So fun in this.
I love the part where she was like Harley Luna. I was like, yep.
Oh my god! you would self-insert yourself in that.
She's just completely over Joker in this one. Like from the very start, when she's hitting on Javelin and everything, and just letting herself go with the.
She's having a ball, yeah.
And then fucking and Nikki loved this part after they mess around and he's like, I'm gonna feed all my political enemies back to the monster just like they did to before or whatever, and she shoots him in the chest or in the gut and she's like, look, I'm willing to give love another chance, but I promise myself if I see any red flags, I'm gonna deal with the problem and put the guy down. And I'm pretty sure killing kids is a big red flag. I'm sorry. As much as it hurts to kill as much as I love the giant monster between your legs, I can't let you hurt anyone.
She did say that, huh?
Yeah. Like fucking hilarious. And then like she murders this guy. She's like, yes, I know. I'm under arrest again. Blah blah blah. Like
I love that. Also, she had the gun and then she just went like, I can't believe this had a bullet in it. Like,
what kind of dumbass keeps these things loaded?
Yeah. I'll be completely honest. The whole scene with her being captured, her being given the dress, her like the whole montage that they had was a pretty good setup for the punchline of her eventually killing him. But I think to me that is like the one scene in the movie that drags a little bit. Like to me that's like the one part that goes a little too long. And like the punchline is good, but I feel like we were gonna get there eventually. So and the movie's 2 hours, which it's enjoyable for the whole 2 hours. But I feel like that was the only part of the movie where I was like, can we get back to the shooting?
No. Yeah. Well, no. Okay, let me ask you this. How, and I think the more movies I watch, the better I'm getting at this now that I can analyze them while I watch them.
Yeah.
Fucking killing the birds, fucking with the birds means it's certain death. I hated that fucking general when he killed those parrots.
Yeah.
With the gas pipe. And you heard them squawking for life. Like you sick fuck.
Look, that the general and then turned president is played by Joaquin Cosio. He is a Mexican actor who famously played El Cochiloco in the movie El Infierno, and he is a goddamn national treasure. Okay, he is. We stand Joaquin Cosio in this house, and every time that he was on screen, I would very loudly exclaim El Cochiloco. So I had a fucking ball with him. I thought he was fun. A little too serious. I think he should have he should have let loose a little bit more.
Yeah.
But because they could have very easily I read somewhere I don't like judging movies for what they're not. I like judging them for what they are. But then someone said, imagine if he was like the Tom Cruise character in Tropic Thunder, and I just Jesus, that would have been so fucking funny. Like it would have been hilarious.
Right, and I mean, we're talking about like a military leader, right? In a country that just staged a coup, he could have been super deranged.
Yeah, and I mean, if the wildest thing he was gonna do was kill some birds, I mean, yeah. I mean,
he was planning on unleashing.
And with that shirt and with that haircut and with that beard, you kind of look like Ashton Kutcher in the Steve Jobs movie. Like, has someone told you that?
No.
Okay, I'm telling you that right now.
But I don't have a daughter that I refuse to acknowledge because I'm a piece of shit.
Well, not yet. And
hey, Nikki, Chema's talking shit.
I'm kidding.
She says she'll kick your ass. Is that what you're saying?
You know what? She would. And No.
Oh wait, no. I was gonna say, wait, okay, who's the actor? Name the actor that and the dictator that messed around with Harley Quinn before she shot him. Who was he?
Oh, I don't know his name.
Oh, I thought that's who you were talking about. I was gonna say he fucked about and he found out.
No, I was talking about the general that then became the president. I really liked Harley in this. I think she was so fun in this. And you know how much I praised Birds of Prey. You know, Birds of Prey to me was like the best DC movie. I think right now I'm between that one and this one. I think this is like the two DC EU movies that I like the most. And I think Harley has a big hand in that because, like I said, I didn't love her in the first one. I thought I got excited. I remember when they said the blonde girl from Wolf of Wall Street is going to be Harley Quinn. That's fucking perfect. But then, you know, she's done a lot of other characters and she's done a lot of other movies, and I think she's really developed as an actress. And if she can play Harley Quinn for like the rest of time, like she's so fun in this.
She clearly loves being Harley Quinn, and she clearly has a shit ton of fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give them props though. They did a much sped up version of this. But if you notice, Harley Quinn, the longer the series goes, the more movies she's in, the less overly sexualized she's been. Like,
yeah.
Like, let's be honest. In the first one, her shorts were like this big. Like, they did that to her.
And and we got that scene where the camera just like creeps up her body for no reason.
Yeah, but it comes.
And it cuts to everyone staring and just like moving.
Yeah, and that's part of a joke. Fine, whatever. Ha ha ha, funny. But like, fast forward to Birds of Prey, and like they even asked the director like, how come this is this? And the director told her like, because it's not fucking functional. Like.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is gonna wear like a skin tight bikini, you know, in like a shootout? Like no one. Like that's stupid. And then come this movie, like she straight up has like military gear on, and then she wears like a fucking dress, but she's not sexually exploited, if that makes sense, which is a great thing. Black Widow took fucking movies for her to get to a point where it wasn't like, oh, look at her butt. Same thing this one. Gunn respected the character very much so.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel gratuitous at all. Fucking props to them, man. They already got to that point now.
Yeah. Oh God. Who else? Who are we missing?
You want to talk about Starro as a villain?
One of the most unexpected things that I've ever seen. But
really,
I mean, I think he was. I think he was in a trailer, but I don't remember watching the trailers that much. If he was in the trailer, I forgot. And the second that the kaiju just like, you know, fucking rips and just starts destroying, and Waller just tells the team, retreat, you're done. I legit thought they're just going to be like, okay, Superman's problem, and just like leave and credits roll. Like I legit thought they were going to do that. And if they did that, it would have been so in character and so fun. But yeah, I guess movies need to have a heart. So of course they turn around and they go and fight it. I thought it was fun, but
I thought the way it was handled was the best way it could have possibly been handled, because I couldn't believe in a million years that Amanda Waller would have ever been like, fine, okay, I'm not gonna kill you all, go for it. So I'm glad that she just got like iced for a minute by her team. That was the only way that could have worked.
It wasn't gonna work any other fucking way, man. It really wasn't. But like I love how there's actually, so in the first one, it's like all bets are off. But in this one, it's more realistic because even they have their own limits. Like fucking Rick Flag, he tells Peacemaker, you know, kids, man, fucking kids. And even when they knock out Waller and they're just saying like, what did you do? Kids are going to fucking die, man. Like, come on. Like people have moral boundaries, which is a fucking good thing. Like this is the real world. Everyone has limits to some degree.
Except Waller.
But yeah, fucking Waller, and that's what makes her the most terrifying woman in the DC universe.
Definitely.
Yeah. I want to talk about, but before we return back to Starro, I want to talk about this one scene that I forgot to mention, and I think it's a very special scene. In the original Suicide Squad, there's a scene where we know that it was later added in reshots, and I don't think Ayer, the director, really wanted it in, There's this very horribly cheesy scene where all the Suicide Squad walk into a bar, start serving themselves, and they just start saying shit like, "Oh, we're ugly, but we're beautiful," and it's horrible.
Yeah, all the Hot Topic slogans. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a scene in this one where they all get to a bar and they start talking, and they're like, you know what? Let's have a drink. Might be our last drink. Let's relax for a second while we wait for the thinker to show up. That bar also, like, the main singer in the bar is Pom Clemente, who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy. She was just there singing, and I love that scene. That scene was what the bar scene in the first movie should have been. It's sweet, it's gentle. It lets the characters just like kind of breathe around each other, and like lets them hang out and makes us get attached to them. So when we lose someone like Polka Dot Man, when we lose someone like Rick Flag, it hurts because we end up liking them for these scenes specifically. And as much as I like the Starro parts, or I like the funny parts, I will treasure that scene for probably like for a long time. So I love that scene. I love that scene just let the characters like breathe for a second. It justifies the length. If you're gonna have 2 hours, I want those 2 hours to mean something. So I'm really glad that Gunn added a scene like that in the movie.
Definitely, yeah.
Honestly, for a lot of people, that was the best scene in the original Suicide Squad, was the bar scene, which they even cut some parts of it. No, the thing is that they cut some of the parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, when they're like, you know, water, yeah, it's probably best. You know, with Diablo, like they cut some of the scenes even from that one. The bar scene was arguably the best scene just because it showed them actually like talking to each other, you know, having some form of character.
Yeah.
This movie took that scene, but again, ramped it up to 11, but in a good way. They're talking, joking, drinking. John Cena's like, "You're gonna be that guy," and even the fucking rat gets a drink. Like she brings shots for everybody. They're like, "Ma'am, you forgot the rat." It's like, yeah. And you see the rat actually drinking, so I'm like, oh god, I'm drunk. Just like, oh god damn it, James Gunn. Can we fucking draft him now? Like, pay him what he wants. Do Suicide Squad 2 and 3. Fuck the Guardians of the Galaxy. They never deserved you. They never stood by you when the chips were down.
True. Actually, I kind of agree with that sentiment because, like, I was thinking about this earlier. I was watching Captain America, and
Which one?
And the first one.
The first Avenger. Yeah.
Yeah, and that got me thinking about Ant-Man, and that got me thinking about how Edgar Wright got fired because they didn't want to let him be as free as he could have been. And it's clear that they didn't let James Gunn be as free as he could have been with Guardians of the Galaxy either, even though he did amazing with that one. But this one is just pure, unfiltered Gunn, and it works so well and so great. And I, frankly, yeah, I think maybe this is his home. Yeah.
Look, you know, between Eddie and I, you know, he's the DC head, I'm the Marvel head, but this is not sports, okay? I'm not gonna die for my team.
Yeah.
And if one of my players plays good on another team, fucking do amazing on that team, you know? A couple days ago, Gunn retweeted all these headlines talking about how DC might just keep him. They just might keep him for other projects. And honestly, I would watch a fucking Calendar Man movie if he directed it.
Like, frankly, yeah.
Well, actually, okay, if they did Calendar Man from The Long Halloween, I'd fucking watch that because he's Hannibal Lecter in that movie, pretty much.
But they just Gunn is one of like the most original voices working right now. Like he's just so unabashedly himself, and you can tell that when you give a very talented director the reins, they can do amazing things. Patty Jenkins famously did amazing on the first Wonder Woman, and they just gave her more freedom in the second Wonder Woman, and that was a little bit too much. I think DC, with every movie that they release, are starting to understand better how the formula should work.
Yeah,
and I think they started up with a couple of missteps, but you know who also started with a couple of missteps? Bambi, and Bambi fucking runs now. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely because I mean, I've been thinking about the first few DC movies a lot because I am a huge Zack Snyder fan now, which I thought I wasn't before. And honestly, I think like a lot of my problems with Man of Steel and BVS are mostly production. Honestly, I think if Zack Snyder had been given more freedom, in those movies, he could have made them so much better than they are now. Particularly seeing just his own style and how he handles projects where he does have that kind of freedom, right? Like Snyder Cut Justice League is just such a good, fantastic movie. And
it was.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? I mean, DC has been doing this thing ever since those first few missteps, right? Because we got Shazam and we got Aquaman, which I know you don't like, but honestly, I can see a lot of Insidious in Aquaman, and I love the Insidious series. And I think James Wan also is just having fun when he's making Aquaman movies.
Yeah. But we're canceling James Gunn because he's bringing back Amber Heard for
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Justice for Johnny Depp. And
James Gunn is bringing it back? Does he mean James Wan?
No, yeah, he meant one. Yeah.
Did I say Gunn?
Yeah, you said Gunn.
I was like, wait, what? I didn't hear about this project. Talk to me.
No, I meant one. Jamie is a big fan of the first flight scene in Man of Steel, a scene that I famously dislike.
Yeah.
And because whenever I try explaining to Jimmy, I just don't like that scene because of the music, and Jimmy's like, he's smiling the whole time,
he's having a good time.
Yeah, imagine you learning how to fucking fly.
Yeah.
Bro, if I woke up and I looked like Henry Cavill, I would do more than smile. Okay.
I don't think you would stop smiling if you woke up as Henry Cavill.
I would do the worst things.
Oh God.
Oh my Lord.
I would live Superman building PCs like the entire day.
Speaking of Superman, I want to know which Superman did fucking Bloodsport shoot with the fucking kryptonite bullet. I want to see that scene.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Me too. How hard would it have been to just like do a little they did a whole sequence for Batman in the first Suicide Squad. How hard was it to just get Henry Cavill in his tights and just like do a cute little scene of like him being just like stabbed with it, like
being shot hard? And then Batman takes him down just like, God damn it, Clark. What? His name's Clark, shut up.
Yeah, like how hard would it have been? Like it's so weird that the DC movies with the more obscure characters that they bring to the front, the more fun their movies are. I don't know how to explain it, but like, how is it possible that a fucking movie with Polka Dot Man is better than a Superman movie? Like, how?
Well, look. I'll say this much. So Fernie, there's a big thing he likes to say where Marvel like basically put its dick on the table and was just like, look what I'm going to do with the most obscure characters with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? With the only exception of fistfight someone on this, with the only exception of Harley Quinn, all of these were relatively obscure characters that James Gunn just made an incredible movie with. Yeah. Like because he made you give a shit. That's the fucking fundamental thing. If you care about a character, you're going to like them. You're going to care about them long term. He made us give a shit about all these other characters that we shouldn't have cared about. I was genuinely devastated for a moment when Rick Flag got killed.
Right, yeah. And a lot of these big superhero movies just rely a lot on recognition, right? They always want to use like characters that people have at least heard about. This movie didn't give a shit about that.
It's so fun. Like it's so unabashedly itself, and it's just, oh man, like if this is the direction that DC wants to go with, I don't know if this is lightning in a bottle or just like a one-time thing. The thing that I love about this movie is that it does not care about setting itself up for like something else. But besides the Peacemaker show, like this doesn't set up a Suicide Squad 3. This doesn't set up another Harley Quinn solo. This doesn't set up King Shark prequel. Like it's just like this is a King Shark. He's just there. Like, do you need to know his backstory? No, you do not. That's just a big fucking shark and his voiced by Sylvester Stallone. That's it. Deal with it. And the one thing that I was like, if you fucking kill that shark, I will shut this movie up. That's like that was the only thing.
I really thought that the shark was in danger, honestly.
Yeah, because the second that they killed Polka Dot Man, I'm like, oh, belts are off. They might kill the shark, and I don't want them to kill that shark.
Dude, to me, bets were off when they killed Rick Flag. The fact, him and Peacemaker have a fucking brutal fight. I love the reveal that the U.S. government fucking knew about this, which I'm like, yeah, they fucking did. Like I'm not. Come on. They fucking come on. The U.S. government. Do you really put it out of the way to like in the real world? Do you think they wouldn't pull some shit like that? Come on.
I see I see the U.S. government as that meme of like the little emoji who's like, it's for me. Like that's how I picture the U.S. government all the time.
And then fucking Rick Flag and Peacemaker have a great fight sequence, and I did not expect for him to kill Rick Flag. And I love how James Gunn is like, look, I need to make sure they know that he's dead, and they show the thing piercing his heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this guy is actually gone. He's not coming back. Like, he's definitively gone.
Yeah. I know this might be like a controversial statement, but I think this might be the comic bookiest comic book movie I've seen in a long time. And
definitely,
it's like, it's not embarrassed by it. And I think all superhero movies kind of live in the shadow of The Dark Knight, where like, that was such a hit and it won Oscars and it got like all this critical acclaim and it made all this money. And we're like, okay, so that's the template. We all want to be that movie. And then
actually,
Marvel started
let's talk about that template. I think one of the most influential things in the template was actually the original X-Men trilogy, because that's where we started this whole like, that suits have to be leathery. You can't have spandex and shit like that. It's all has to be desaturated leather.
2003 Daredevil.
Wait, can I pose a thing? I'd say, and not stick at Marvel, I'm just saying, I think The Dark Knight is the most realistic superhero movie ever made, and I think the Suicide Squad...
Film bros will agree with you. Yeah.
Okay, look, hear me out. If The Dark Knight is the most realistic superhero movie ever made, the Suicide Squad, Chema, I think you're right, is the most comic book movie has ever been made.
Yeah, it's just so batshit. It's like, honestly, I feel like it's kind of the level of Thor Ragnarok, because like previously I thought Ragnarok was the most comic booky movie I had seen so far. But in this one, I feel like you can really feel the love for the DC universe permeating every aspect of the movie.
Yeah. If Guardians 3 is not better than this, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit movies.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard sell.
Guardians 3 just needs to be Guardians 3. It doesn't need to beat anything. But look, besides the Birds of Prey movie, this is the first time that I'm looking forward to rewatching a DCEU movie.
I think I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm happy that we finally got HBO Max here, and I can stream it whenever I want. But I would have loved to have seen this in the theater. Jimmy, how was it on? You saw it on IMAX, right? Or
no? I had to go to the Dolby screen for this one. I mean, IMAX, big, sure, wow. Dolby, all the contrast, all the sound. This movie was just like an experience.
Jesus, I haven't been to the movie since March 2020, and oh god, I miss it so much. My second dose cannot come close enough. Anything? I forgot to mention, Taika Waititi plays Ratcatcher's 2's dad.
Amazing that we got a scene of Taika Waititi shooting heroin.
Taika Waititi, wait, is he the director of Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that was him. Holy shit.
That was him, yeah. And apparently what happened, this is a kind of a sad story, but he was working on a live action adaptation of Akira for Warner Brothers. Oh. And James Gunn had called him and it's like, hey, I wrote you a little part in the Suicide Squad. Do you want it? He's like, I can't. I'm working on Akira. And he's like, okay. So he just like hangs up. And then Warner Brothers kind of kills the Akira project because Taika Waititi, very controversially, wants to use Asian actors for an Asian movie. And Warner Brothers is like, but those are not big names. Does not compute. So they kill the project.
Just make them big names then.
Yeah, and then so after that, Taika calls James Gunn and is like, "Hey, do you still have that role? I kind of don't have a job right now." And he's like, "Oh, I kind of gave the role away, but I'll make another role for you." And that's why he plays the original Redcatcher.
What was gonna be his original role? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe Merle's character, because Merle was added pretty late.
Merle?
Merle from The Walking Dead. What's his name? The guy who plays Yondu.
Yeah.
He was added pretty late, like into
Savant,
the process.
Savant, yeah.
No, not the character, but the actor was added pretty late. I think he was one of the last ones to be added in. So maybe it was that.
Probably him, yeah. Oh no, I wouldn't want to see Taika Waititi cry.
No.
He's a wonderful little man from New Zealand. He wears rompers, and he's cool in my book.
Yeah, seeing him overdose to death was enough.
Yes. No, we stand Taika in this house as well. Yeah, so that's kind of the story of how Taika was involved in this. And Gunn is he's a posse man. I mean, he has his group. That's what he brought like half of the Guardians into this.
Yeah.
And it's good. What can I tell you? Like, the Suicide Squad is good.
I got a lot of super from this one.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a lot of super. And oddly enough, I was also getting Batman Brave and the Bold vibes from this.
Batman Brave and the Bold has one of my favorite Batman lines of all time, which is when he's fighting
the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer. It's like, you wouldn't hit a woman. The hammer of justice is unisex. And just fucking. Also, Batman Brave and the Bold has an episode that features the Roastmaster General Jeff Ross doing a roast of like several DC characters, and then Batman comes in and saves him. Batman Brave and the Bold is fucking genius. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like what makes it genius is precisely that it has a lot of love for all these like random DC characters, and it's super colorful and everything. And I got that same energy from this film.
Mm-hmm. Man, this is
great fucking
stuff.
movie.
Simply,
this is good stuff. I mean, if DC decides to focus on just making fun, just not like, they don't even have to be like these Oscar winners. They don't have to like break records. They just have to be fun, entertaining movies, because if they are, the people will come. If they don't come when it comes out, it's going to become a cult movie eventually. It happened to Scott Pilgrim, and it can happen to this as well. So it just came out. If you can watch it on HBO, watch it on HBO. But if you can watch it in theaters, Jesus Christ, watch it in theaters. I want to, and I hate that I can't. So, man, it's a hit. It's a win. This cracks my top 10 of the year, probably top 5. Man, I can't wait to revisit this.
Yeah,
I honestly can't wait to watch it again right now myself.
Yeah. Jim?
Just for me, one of the things this movie does really well is just exist in an extended universe. Like you mentioned earlier, it doesn't bother too much about setting anything else other than the Peacemaker, but it very clearly exists in a world that is full of magic and monsters and aliens and shit like that. And I just love that it lets itself be that, without bothering too much about it. I mean, they never even explain what the fuck Mongol is. They don't explain what the fuck the Weasel's doing in there, right? It just is. And it is amazing. It another thing it reminded me of was the Doom Patrol show on HBO Max, which is also amazing, and it also has that same energy of just like, yeah, Superman is out there in the universe. This is maybe not a story about him, but it's definitely a story that exists like
within the universe,
this world, right? And I feel like that's a fantastic energy, because like it's not setting up sagas like Marvel was so focused on doing, right, in the earlier movies. It's just like presenting us to a vivid, rich world, and
yeah,
I just love that.
I knew you were going to reference Doom Patrol at some point tonight. I just, because Jimmy has been championing Doom Patrol for like a long time. And also, can we just give a shout out to Brendan Fraser, who just got cast in the new Scorsese film? Good for him making a comeback. We love you, Brendan Fraser. You beautiful, beautiful man. And we can't wait to see you kicking ass again. I need to watch Doom Patrol. I'll watch it eventually. I'm sorry.
You have
it's on the list. It's on the list.
Yeah, it's on it. I just got HBO Max, so like I will watch it, but I'm watching We Bear Bears and Adventure Time right now, so I'll get to it eventually. It's my first time watching Adventure Time.
Wow.
There's characters that pee from their armpits. It's an interesting trip.
Okay.
Dramatic pause, and back. Okay, so
final thoughts.
Final thoughts. But before final thoughts, have you watched Doom Patrol, Eddie?
I'm not. No, it's on the list. That's what I said. Like, it's on the list. I just haven't had the chance to.
Okay. Before we move on to final thoughts, I know, Jamie, I know you were pretty into the CW verse, and Eddie, I know you watched a bit of it. How do we feel that the promise that of what those shows should have been is now being just batshitly insane portrayed in these movies? How do you think they compare now? Like, do we need a CW verse now that we're having these fun in these movies, or should they just keep existing the way they are?
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like the CW verse ran its course a while ago. I couldn't really stand the last season of The Flash, and it did some things really well at some point, but these movies are just, I mean, they won me over, definitely. And I really love this one in particular. And honestly, I feel like the level of color and just like insanity that we had in this film is the kind of stuff that I want to see in a New Gods movie, particularly just anything in which Miracle Man would be involved in. Something that is as visually appealing as this, which is a dream come true for me.
Awesome.
No, I think to take away the CW verse or to stop it, like it's someone's flavor. Like, you know, there's some people that aren't necessarily hardcore into superhero stuff, so they go back for the drama. Like, oh my god, he's breaking up with Iris again. Like, it's like, you know what? That's fine. If that's your cup of tea, go watch it. That's fine. Not mine, but I fucking. If that's what it takes for you to like a superhero movie or for you to be a Green Arrow fan, go. Yeah. You know? So no, I think there's room for both universes.
Yeah. Our friend Amanda Ramirez for another show, they're a big fan of the CW verse. I wanted to bring up one more thing, completely out of topic. But a couple weeks ago, we reviewed the Fear Street movies, Eddie. And I watched them with Jimmy over here. And I just saw this connection recently. Jim, did you watch The Flash all the way to when Barry and Iris have a kid? I think they have a daughter.
Yeah.
There's an episode where a girl is hitting on the daughter and they don't realize it. They realize a little too late. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's the girl from Fear Street. That's the main girl.
Really? The main girl?
Really? Shit, I didn't even recognize that. That's saying something.
Yeah, that was her. I just saw it recently. Like, oh shit, that's her. That's Tina. Yeah. Okay, so final thoughts on the Suicide Squad. I'm gonna let you all go one by one, and then we'll close up.
My final thought on this movie is that scene where John Cena stands up in his tidy whities and we can see the clear outline of his dick. That's the only thing in my head right now.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about that scene. Oh god, that scene where like King Shark is holding Ratcatcher 2 like a fucking Subway sandwich, just like about to eat. Oh, so good.
How heavy of a sleeper are you? I was having a great dream.
Millennials. Oh god, she was great. Eddie, final thoughts?
This is all the fun that we deserve. That's it. This is all the fun that we deserve. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you've already seen it once, go watch it a second time so you can enjoy it some more.
Yep.
Chema?
I'm gonna echo what you two say, both on John Cena's penis and on how fun this movie was. This is finally a 2-hour movie that I think is worth that it's 2 hours. This is a great film, a great fun. Someone's bound to say that this is James Gunn's crowning achievement, that it's his magnum opus, and that it's his best movie ever. I'm not going to argue with that, but I will not disagree with it either. that was a pretty fun ride. And at the end of the day, movies just need to be fun. And this was a blast. And I cannot wait to revisit it. And if I would have to score it, I don't need to score it. But I think it's like a 9 out of 10. I think it's so fun. I think it has very few flaws, and I will keep coming back to it. Like, I would love to watch this drunk. I would love to watch this under the influence of many substances. And I would love to watch this with someone who hasn't watched it, because it would be a fucking blast. Okay.
I think imagine making it a drinking game. Every time someone dies, you take a sip.
Oh God. I'm so shocked that DC was like the first to embrace like this. Well, not the first to embrace, but like the first to continuously embrace this R-rated, just fucking blast of fun that is this. Because I mean, yeah, Deadpool opened the door for a lot of these, but I think this one is like, if that was the Nexus event, this is the variant. Like, it's fun. Okay.
Yep.
It's just fun all the time. Anyone else want to score it, or should we just?
It's gonna be a tidy whitey out of 10 for me.
Excellent. Eddie?
Hey.
9, yeah.
Hey. Okay. Well, that's it.
If you're listening to us on a podcast, please subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. We are trying to grow this little project of ours.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to hear more about our thoughts on movies, go to therollback.net. My name is Chema.
I've been Eddie.
This was Jimmy.
And this was the
rollback. Signing off with a reminder to watch Ted Lasso. Season 2 is airing right now, and it's the best fucking show on television.
Or you can just wait to binge watch it like me. Good night, everybody.
There it is.